Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we're here with Coach Karen, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Our money mindset coach. We love it when Coach is in the building because she always has something fabulous to share with us to help us do business better and to wrap our minds around how our money works and how we can work our money. So I want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. Welcome to the show, everyone. Hi, Cecilia. Love
Hi,
you,
Cecilia.
girl. I hope you all is
Oh
doing
my
well
God.
for you today.
We so appreciate it. Thank you
Good
so
morning,
much.
ladies.
Yes, good morning, darling. Good morning.
So today, what is our topic today, Coach?
Today we're going down the list of emotions behind the money. Today we're looking at health and how it affects your health. Because when you don't have your health, you don't have any money.
That's
All of
right.
a
No
sudden,
health,
that
no
money,
wealth.
yeah, that money is like,
Okay, so we're talking about emotions, health, and money.
Yes, that's what we're talking about today. And I'm just going to tip back a little bit. We started off talking about the anger part of the emotions behind the money. We looked at sadness. Last week, we talked about the guilty happiness. And this week, we're talking about how it affects you health wise. What are some of the side effects? This is, the side effects of the emotion that you feel behind the money. And this
Mhm.
can show up differently for a lot of people. You could be feeling really good, but feeling sick in the background and putting it to the back and not paying attention to it. And guys, I talk about money. Let me just pause right here and let you know health comes first before the money. Because if you don't
Yes.
have the health, you can't have the money. And if you have the money and you're not looking after your health, you're going to go down the line and you're going to start questioning yourself. Why did I make all this money? Why did I spend time cultivating this and only getting deeper holes? So money is
Mhm.
important, but your health comes first. So you want to really pay attention to your health. I remember, I didn't know anything about postpartum. When you're pregnant and you had a baby, how you feel. But after I had my son at 21, I remember I getting out there and I was feeling however I was feeling, and I start back dancing. 3 months later, I was back into dance, and people who knew me would keep saying, "But you're slim already. Why are you dancing? Why are you working out? Why are you doing all these things?" In their minds, why am I fussing about it? But
Mhm.
working out, I would work out 3 days a week and I'll dance for 3 days a week. And those two things, because they were physical, they kept me in my mind really well. If I realized later, and guys, I study criminology, and when I look at cases, and I had to research a lot of cases, and when I realized a lot of things come from people not sometimes knowing how to manage their health and the stage and season they're in,
Mhm.
so they don't understand what to do. And so if you get there, sometimes it's not too late, but it's hard to come back. For me, I guess because I was so sick for the full 9 months, I start within that time figuring out what I'm going to do when this baby was born. And I started looking at areas and avenues and how am I going to come back. Now, I am talking about it on the opposite side. Most people are looking at it because you get fat. For me, I got slim. I was about 95 pounds and I was going downhill. So I was going on the opposite side of the
Wow.
issue. And it was a fight between myself, my mom, and the doctors to get my weight up. And they'll get it up a pound or two, and I'll go right back down. So everything was just tippering right there. I wouldn't get to 100 pounds. I got to 99, I'll go right back down. So it was a mental state, an emotional draining on everybody, because when you get that doctor, people don't realize they themselves, when they get invested in you and they can fix the problem, they're as worried as you.
Yes.
They're frustrated as they will look after you once you're the kind of patient who's doing what they ask you to do also. So
Mhm.
like from the secretary right back, when I get there, everybody's like just hoping I come the next week. All they will say, hopefully we can see you next week. Because as much as fatness is the main thing, or overweight or obesity we look at, when somebody's losing weight, is just as detrimental to their organs and everything that's happening.
Oh,
I'm
I
bringing,
had no idea because they keep telling me to lose weight. That's the other conversation I've been hearing.
and that's the opposite, and that's the one that we know about. That's the one
Mhm.
that is so familiar, and that is true also because when you, let's look at that for a little bit. When you're losing weight, when you're positioning yourself to lose weight, the truth of the matter is not the exercise that you're doing. It's really and truly from deep within. If you decide that all you're going to do is walk, and you're going to walk 5 days a week, you have to walk 5 days a week because you've made the decision. And what you're doing is sabotaging yourself by working 4 or 3 days a week. If
Mm,
you know you can make it to five, like I just start my mom back because we're indoors. And I say to her, only do three. So that every when that time comes around, she's doing the 3 days. She's not trying to do 4 or 5. 4 or 5 is the bonus, but I want her to stick to the three because the first person you have to really appreciate and say yes to is you. And by
mm,
doing so, is you consistently focus on saying, 3 days a week, I'm going to work out. If you know it's only one day, don't listen to anybody. Just do the one day, but commit to it. So every week on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, you work out for that hour, that half an hour, whatever time lot you give yourself, but stick to it. It's so funny. We talk about money all the time, but those habits lead into your money habits. Those habits help you
mhm.
do everything else. It's never one area that is okay and the next will just happen. You have to be in each area. We always hear so many social media, so many things I got to do. But the truth is, life is about so many different little things that we truly have to do. And it helps us so much with our emotions when we understand this. You ever see somebody get really wealthy and then they're just big and fat? Because they were just focusing on making money, but nothing else. We've learned and watched younger generations, if you look over time, that they'll be fit and they'll make their money and they'll be looking after other things because they start figuring out. And it's because they got their lessons from the older folks, self included.
Yes. Mhm.
They look around and they saw that, like, and then the person fall on from a heart attack because they weren't paying attention to the cholesterol, or they were eating too much of whatever on
We
that.
didn't pay attention. Yes.
Mm.
You
And
you know, I think too that they're learning from us because we are unlearning some things and sharing those things
yes,
with them.
yes, yes, they are learning. The other part of the pie is, and I got a lot of YouTube people that I love and follow, and this one guy, he was talking about it, quite a few of them, but I love his take on it. He says, so you get the money now and you understand you're fit. And if you're like me, I went to church when I was younger, but then I was like, who cares? And he says, then God just picked me up and slapped me up both sides of my cheeks, not the way I'm saying it. And he's like, so what happened to this portion of my life? And he said,
Mm.
as soon as he got his slaps, he went and get baptized. And he's looking after that portion of himself because he realized without God, he couldn't got all what he had. So, to keep making sure it stays, he want to look after that side of him too, right?
Yes. Yes, because we need the spiritual side of our lives.
We
It,
do.
it's the
We
essence
do.
of who we are. Yes.
It is. It is. And that also helps with your emotion. And believe it or not, that also helps with your health. It really does. When I was a little girl, I would often pray for. I went to a Methodist school, so church was just part of school. You go to church on a Wednesday, and I forget which other day, and then we got Bible study on a Tuesday. Like you're in church and school, like it's side by side. And they said you can ask for anything, and I started asking for all my senses to stay intact. And I remember praying, and my friend saying, "Mikhail, why you keep asking for that? You can see and hear. Like, what's the big deal?" And I kid you not, it wasn't 30 days later that a girl came to register to our school. And before she could sit in the class, she had to take off things. She had no arms, no legs. She only had her neck and her whole body. That's
The
it.
torso. Uh-huh.
That's it. No legs, nothing. So the pain to sit down, to sit with the prosthetics was very difficult. So she'll just take them out or if she
Mhm.
sits for a little bit, she'll just take them out. And I looked at Wendy and I said, see, we could have not had or have and it disappear. It could gone. So you got to pray for the things that you want or that you have and ask God to help you keep it.
And be grateful.
And be
Yes.
grateful. Be
Mhm.
grateful. So your health is important. It's just as important as having the money and the emotion. What emotion comes with that? If you're overweight, you're emotional charge for different reasons. If you're underweight, you're also emotional charge for different reasons. I had a friend I went to college with, and she couldn't gain weight because her metabolism was going at such a rate that she couldn't keep the weight. So she would keep deteriorating. She'd have to go on high cholesterol stuff, gain the weight and lose it again. And I finally said to her, I said, you got to find a doctor who's going to care for you and understand losing weight because losing weight is different from gaining weight. And he's used to the gaining weight people. So you need a doctor who could recommend you to a nutritionist or somebody to help you let the weight stick to you.
Yes.
And she went through quite a few, but she did end up getting somebody that was able to help her stabilize things and make sure that weight, a certain amount at least, stayed on her. Because here's the other health fact: when you lose weight and you're very, very skinny, a lot of things happen to you that nobody talks about. You're tired, you feel energy less, which causes all sorts of different emotions to surface.
Mm-hmm.
And it also make you can study and focus. I don't think people realize it.
I
You're
didn't know that.
Yes, you feel a lot of lightheadedness and a lot of dizziness because I lost a lot of weight. I was able to ask her, and she says, "Yeah, I keep wondering why I'm reading the same paragraph, but it's not sticking." I said, "You need to go see the doctor because your iron could just be low too. That causes dizziness. That causes you to feel like the rainbow. You see a lot of colors happening out of your eyes, and you're
Oh
not
my
going
goodness.
and your whole face feels like it's swollen. And if you ask somebody, they'll say to you, "No, I'm not swollen. You're not swollen," but you feel your face swelling, and there's some tingling that happening at the tip of your arms and in bottom of your legs. I'm describing this because I've literally lived through this process where I knew what was happening to me because I've experienced it before and had to go to my doctor. And she says, "It's your iron low, Karen." But and she's like, "Let me check." And this is what doctors do. Good doctors will go to their books and look it up if they
Mhm.
don't know or they
Yes.
never had a patient that can describe that. That's why I always say my doctor's such a good lady. I don't know what to do when she retire. Anyway, she looked it up and she goes, "These are symptoms." I said, "Yes." And you literally feel like you can't do anything. No, this is the extreme, and I've been there. But the beginnings is focus. You can't focus. You're seeing these color lines. It comes and it goes, and a little lightheadedness sometimes if you get up too sudden. So all these things. Imagine all these stuff is happening to you. How are you going to run your business? Let's get to the money part. How are you going to run your business? How are you going to stay focused? How are you going to get these things done? If you're delegating, how are you going to delegate to your staff, your connectors, to get this stuff done? How are you going to be present in your company if you're feeling this way?
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's a number of things that brings it on. You can be feeling sad, you can be feeling all the things we covered before, and it starts stressing you out to this point that now
Mm.
here's where you are.
Gotcha. So we have to be aware of how our money is affecting our emotions because our emotions affect our health. Ah, okay.
It does.
Mm,
The
okay.
emotions affect your health. And it starts with kids, or let's say you have somebody in your life who always speak not good things to you. Imagine how you feel
Yeah.
emotionally, and you start burying it, and it starts stressing you out, and it causes health problems. Those health problems, if not tend to, get bigger and bigger over time. It's like a kid who has a mom, but the mom is having her own difficulties, and let's not blame anybody here, just her
Mm,
own difficulties. And now it's passed on to that child, and she doesn't understand, he or she doesn't understand, but they're really suffering. They can't hold down a job, they can't be paid. There's just so many different scenarios that I literally know of or been present in or had clients that is suffering in some way or another. And And I go deep when I coach because I really want people to examine their feelings and where it's coming from, where things are developing from. Because when we know, or when at least we investigate it, we can come up with ways to handle it.
Now,
Hi, Robin.
Robin says, so if we're contracted by money, I think she means distracted, it causes stress and illness. Is that what you were saying, Robin? I don't want to put words in your mouth, because it reads, if we were contracted by money, it causes stress and illness.
Yeah, so let's let her clarify that before we go into answer.
Yeah.
But that's why, my son used to like Simpsons because he says, Simpson says, some episode he says, if you don't try too hard, then you don't have to do anything, which is not true, but you can't word Homer Simpson. He was about 9. I said, Paul, you can't word with Homer Simpson.
No,
it's a cartoon.
It is a cartoon. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yes. I think too, when we become obsessed with the dollar, or when we become obsessed with giving it away because we feel guilty about it and are afraid to make a profit, that's just as bad as when you are obsessed with making money.
Mm-hmm. It's both extremes, right? You're at both extremes. Yeah. You can get both extremes.
Here she is. If we feel restricted, lack mindset causes illness. Okay.
Illness. Yes. Yes. You can literally get sick of the thought. Just the thought. That thought process is not a joke. You can go down a rabbit hole. Even the strongest person who looks after mindset, even me, talking about mindset all the time, teaching it, coaching on it. I literally have to. That's why I make sure that the most important client, is looked after.
Yes.
Rest, exercise, making sure my finances are in order. Spend time looking after those things. And if I wasn't clear, guys, look after those things. You're never wasting time if you're spending a day looking at your budget, spending a couple hours shifting and moving things around. You're never wasting time if you are trying out a new exercise and you're not getting it right, but you're now learning the steps. You're okay. Emotionally, if you're not feeling emotionally fine, if you're feeling drained, take the time and rest. Please look after yourself, because none of this is worth anything at the end of your lives if you didn't spend the time finding out, investigating, researching, and looking after what looks after you. All the money you make or you want to make is not going to happen. Sometimes people want to know, I do every single thing that people told me to do, and I'm still not making money in my business. That's because you haven't looked after the essential person, which is you. You got to look after you, and then you find all the money. I can't call anybody. I got a coaching client, and I don't talk a lot about how much money my clients make. I guess it's not a big deal, but just the way I run things. But just for instance, I'm going to make this announcement right now. Chris, in December, she started in September tracking her money, and she made about $7,000. She then made about $8,000. She went dipped in November. In December, she says, kind of didn't make a lot of money. We went and investigated, and she made $15,000 in December, in her business. And that's a direct correlation. I didn't have to say it. She sent me the most wonderful testimonial, because she says, I make money in my business, but I've never made for 1 month. And I know because it's December, it sounds big, but it has climbed in how much money she made. And I can tell you guys, it's not because her products suddenly get better. It's because at the core, she started believing that if she looks after her health, her wealth will be looked after too. She can't only look after the people and the product, as she's a product-based client. That's not the only thing. She had to look after herself, her stress level, her consistency, her health. Those are things we have to really look after. And I'm going to sit here and tell you, she fought me on every step of those things. Of the way, okay? But she said to me in January, she couldn't wait for me to get back to work. She says, I want to give you the full number. And I want you to know all the fight I'm gonna stop fighting you. So, but you're lying. I know you're gonna fight me again, but at least this specific area, we're okay in agreement.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
All right, right now I'm over my time, guys. But
it's okay. We're talking about the emotions of money. And you know, when we're talking about emotions, sometimes you just can't stop mid-sentence or mid-thought. We have to finish the thought. So let's wrap up. Let's talk about these emotions, the emotions and how they affect our health. And then eventually our money.
Our money, yes, because if you're not healthy, you're not be making no money. I know if you got stocks, you're making it, but we're talking about the business owner, the everyday money, or the worker, the person who's going to work. If you have to call in sick, there's only so many sick days you get in a year. You won't be making any money. And if you yourself is a product-based company, then you make things. Even if you're not making it and you have people working for you, you have to check and relate to it. So you want to look after your health because it's right there, right up there with your money.
I hear you.
Really right up there and in line with your money. So guys, watch your health.
Yes. If you don't have your wealth, you can't keep, I should say, if you don't have your health, you can't keep your wealth.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You spend all that money at the doctors, spending all the money to the specialists together to help.
There you go. Yep. Yep.
Even here in Canada, healthcare is free, but the minute you need specialization, there's only a number, like 3 or 4 visits, or depending on what it is. And after then, you have to come out of your pocket. And it costs thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. Okay.
Wow. Wow. Okay, guys, you heard it here from Coach Karen. If you don't have your health, you can't keep your wealth. And with that, we want to thank you again, Coach. We've been talking about how anger affects your money, how sadness affects your money, and now we're talking about how your health affects your money. Wow.
And last week, we talked about the guilty happiness. That emotion, too, that was a good one. About your money. So
guilty happiness.
Yes.
Okay, yes, but it's okay to make money. That's why we're in business, right?
Yes, yes.
And then we price our things so low, and we want to know why we're sad about it. Because we're making sales and we just don't see a profit. Well, it could be because you felt guilty about asking for
the money,
the correct amount of money, so that you can make a profit and have a profitable business that's fun to run. If you're looking for Coach Karen, you can find her under Profits in Daily with Coach Karen. She's on the web, and I'm going to put that up so you can see what I said in case I didn't enunciate clearly. Profits in Daily with Coach Karen. She has a number of coaching programs. She's an excellent coach. We highly recommend her. You know, we don't recommend everybody over here on Biz Chicks because we like people who are clear, concise, and have steps that are easy to follow so that you don't feel like you're throwing your money down a black hole. All right. So know this, that when you coach with Coach Karen, you will be able to achieve your dreams and make your business run in a profitable way. So we want to remind everybody that tomorrow is Thursday. And on Thursday, we are here with Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. On Friday, we'll be talking tech and English. And we want you to remember to go to the front of your own line. And Coach, you don't have any programs coming up, do you?
Not right now to speak on.
I want to make sure, because you know when I say remember to go to the front of your own line.
Yes.
Okay, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time.